I had received some questions on how I am drilling out the windows on my 1/1400 scale Enterprise C model. Now the two items that I'm using mostly are this Ryobi drill. It's battery pack powered, and as you can see it can be set for either 200 RPM or 600 RPM. 200 RPM works well, 600 RPM is just quicker, especially because the top saucer of the Enterprise C model kit is quite a bit thicker than the bottom section was. Now for the Dremel, this bit is actually broken off. It was about that long, and I was going to throw it out, but somebody suggested using that as basically a router. In other words, using it to go side to side a little bit. So with the Micro, when I turn it on, it automatically comes on at about 50%. And if I back it all the way down, that's about 5,000 RPM, which is just enough to route or drill or cut without actually heating the plastic up and melting it. There is one little trick though, and I have this little brush, because it does collect quite a bit of plastic. So I will take this and just do that while it's running and knock everything off. And I've also noticed that after about 4 or 5 windows, I really need to take it and just hold it out in the air like this running, kind of wave it around a little bit. And that just cools the bit down so that it doesn't melt plastic. I've also learned to use some foam core underneath, because if you're drilling through with a micro drill, they're so fine that if you hit something like this carpeting that I have here or hit the wood, it'll snap the drill. The drill will get caught. If you flex at all, it snaps right off. But this foam core provides almost no resistance. So you can go through your item and into the foam core and it doesn't affect it at all. Now, this is my Enterprise C. This is the upper hull. And as you can see, I've done a decent amount of the windows. There are a lot of windows on this thing. Now what I was doing originally was I had this micro screwdriver and I was drilling a hole top and bottom in each window, and then I was taking the micro screwdriver and I was putting it in and I was wedging it like this until it worked its way through and punched the hole. It gave me some nice holes, but on the bottom section especially, and you can see it a little bit right here on this one, it really stressed the plastic. And if I had tried to do that here for these windows, which are so close together, they just would have, it would have just punched through. The plastic would have given way. So what I'm doing with my current technique, I'm going to do one of these windows down here. And I take this tape thing, I put it on there just to give a little more weight so that it doesn't lift up when I lift up the drill. So I take this and I pick I'm going to adjust the light here a little bit. I pick one of the windows and I get it right to the top of the window, and then I hold it here to stabilize it. Drills right through nice and easy. And then I go to the bottom of the same window. Just like that. So now I've got a top and a bottom hole for that window. I'm going to do a couple more. Do a few of the tops and get them out of the way. And then I'm going to jump down to the bottoms. And the biggest part there is just making sure you place the drill where you want it. So then what I'm going to do is I take the Dremel Micro, and I turn it on, and I run it all the way down so that it's at 5,000 RPM. And then I take it and I very carefully, I'm going to move the camera here just a little bit. I very carefully put it in the hole, and I just sort of tilt it a little bit, move it up and down, and it routers right through, all the way through. Now that leaves all this garbage here, but then if I just take it and zip it back and forth a few times quick, voila. I have a nice clean window. just takes a few seconds. I'm going to turn that off and brush this off a little bit. And as you can see, I've got some more windows. Now some of them, like you can see, there's still a little bit of debris inside that one. I have this very fine pick that I have been using to go in and flick out little bits that are still stuck in the middle, just like up here. Now if it's bad enough, I just take the Dremel, run it all the way down, and just run it back and forth in the hole again real quick. Now if you need to, you can of course use it to create longer ends. This one I actually made a mistake because I was aiming through the camera, so I actually made that a little too long. If I wanted to try and make these other windows match up just a little bit, I could do sort of an intermediate length here, so that when you're not right over it looking at it, they will look more the same size. That's pretty much it. That's what I've been doing to open these windows, and I've got about 900 of them to go. I wish I was exaggerating. Thanks for watching.